Carl Jung left behind a profound and transformative legacy, the invitation to explore the hidden dimensions of our own inner lives. What he offered wasn't just another psychological or philosophical theory, it was a deeply personal call to journey inward and uncover a truth so powerful it could fundamentally change how we experience life. If you've ever felt a lingering emptiness, one that no relationship, career achievement, or possession has been able to fill, then this message is meant for you. This is a timeless insight, one that speaks directly to the core of human experience. From the earliest stages of his work, Jung recognized a critical reality. Within each person exists a vast, largely unexplored inner world. But this inner landscape doesn't make itself known through the noise of daily routines. It won't be found through external validation, social approval, or material success. Instead, it resides silently in the unconscious, waiting often for years for us to develop the courage to finally listen. You may have had moments when a subtle yet powerful feeling washed over you, a sense of disconnection, as though you were living a life scripted by someone else, a story that doesn't quite fit who you truly are. Though uncomfortable, that feeling isn't a flaw. It's not something to fear. It's a signal. Your unconscious mind reaching out, urging you to acknowledge that something is out of alignment, that there are aspects of yourself you've long neglected or buried. Jung taught that ignoring these signals prevents us from living fully. He emphasized the necessity of embracing every part of ourselves, even the traits we fear, dislike, or have been conditioned to suppress. These hidden elements, which he called the shadow, represent the repressed parts of our psyche that we exclude because they don't fit the image we want to project. But Jung's discovery was radical. These disowned parts aren't just burdens. They're integral to our wholeness. Without them, we remain fragmented. If you've ever sensed that something vital is missing, you're not alone. Many people spend their lives trying to fill that void with external solutions, relationships, recognition, wealth, or status, believing these will bring lasting satisfaction. Jung saw through this illusion. He understood that the emptiness we feel can't be solved by adding more from the outside. It can only be resolved by turning inward, by reconnecting with the truth of who we are, and by venturing into the rich terrain of the authentic self. Take a moment to reflect. How many of your decisions have been shaped by the expectations of others? How often have you silenced your inner voice, the one that quietly told you you were on the wrong path? Jung believed that every time we override this intuition to meet external demands, we lose touch with our essence. This loss doesn't just disrupt our peace of mind, it deteriorates the quality of our relationships, our sense of direction, and our capacity for true fulfillment. Maybe you've been in relationships that looked ideal from the outside, but left you feeling emotionally unsatisfied. Or perhaps you've pursued a career others admire, yet find it leaves you with a deep sense of emptiness. These aren't coincidences, they are signs, messages from the unconscious encouraging you to stop, reassess, and realign your life. Entering the realm of the shadow can feel intimidating. It means facing emotions, fears, and memories you've tried to ignore. It means coming to terms with insecurities or traits you've long denied. But here's what Jung discovered. Avoiding your shadow doesn't make it disappear. On the contrary, it grows stronger, shaping your behavior, disrupting your relationships, and limiting your growth until you finally face it. When you do, when you confront those hidden parts of yourself with honesty and openness, something profound begins to unfold. You begin to feel a sense of lightness and inner clarity. You come to understand that these once feared parts aren't enemies. They're lost fragments of your identity. They hold the key to becoming whole. Now imagine what could change if you stopped striving to be perfect, if you let go of pleasing others, if you chose instead to simply be true to who you are. That's the heart of Jung's teaching. Wholeness isn't about flawlessness, it's about integration. It's about accepting all facets of yourself, even those that seem contradictory or uncomfortable. As this integration begins, your life starts to shift. Your relationships grow deeper. You stop seeking constant approval and start attracting people who value you for your authentic self. These are no longer connections built on appearances or pretense, but on mutual understanding and truth. This path isn't easy. Jung never suggested it would be. Truly facing ourselves requires bravery. It demands that we acknowledge the parts of us that are hurt, defensive, or afraid. But Jung offered an empowering insight. The discomfort we feel in doing this work isn't punishment, it's transformation. It's the necessary bridge between the life we've known and the life we're truly meant to live. Have you noticed recurring patterns in your life? Maybe you keep entering relationships where you feel unappreciated, or you repeatedly follow paths that leave you unfulfilled. Jung believed these patterns are not random. They are how the unconscious communicates with us, offering clues about what we need to face and integrate. Until we do, these patterns persist. The unconscious doesn't speak with words. It communicates through symbols, dreams, and emotional undercurrents. That's why life's most disorienting moments often carry the richest insights. In the heart of confusion or emotional turmoil lie the signals that can guide us back to our truth. Your unconscious isn't against you. It's your ally. It waits patiently for you to pause, to reflect, and to begin the journey inward, the journey back to your true self. One of Jung's most essential contributions is the idea of synchronicity. This isn't just a speculative idea, it's a transformational lens through which to view life. Synchronicity refers to those uncanny moments when external events mirror our internal states, when our thoughts and emotions align perfectly with what unfolds around us. These moments aren't accidents, they're meaningful. They suggest a deeper harmony between our inner and outer worlds, gently confirming that we are aligned with our path. To notice these moments, we must cultivate awareness. We must become present, attuned to our thoughts, feelings, and the subtle signals life sends us. So what if the difficulties you face weren't setbacks, but invitations? What if each obstacle wasn't blocking your path, but marking the way forward, urging you to grow, to evolve, to reconnect with parts of yourself long forgotten? That's the essence of Jung's legacy. Not just a theory, but a roadmap for inner transformation. A reminder that your wholeness doesn't lie somewhere out there. It's waiting within. You may not have realized it yet, but there's a perspective shift that changes everything. It transforms how you understand your struggles and, more importantly, how you approach your life. You stop resisting change. You stop dreading uncertainty. Instead, you begin to welcome it. Chaos no longer seems like something to avoid, but rather a rich space for growth, learning, and resilience to develop. Life becomes less about controlling every outcome and more about learning to trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting the unseen forces guiding you from within. On this path, you'll encounter people who try to label you. Society, with its expectations and norms, will attempt to shape you into something that fits neatly into a predefined mold. It will tell you who to be, how to behave, and what steps to follow to be accepted or successful. But Jung's insights remind us that real fulfillment doesn't come from fitting in. It comes from living with authenticity, from daring to walk your own path, even when it challenges convention. As you commit to your own path, something meaningful begins to shift within you. You start acting from a place of deep inner awareness. Your choices are no longer fueled by fear or the desire to please others. They arise from a sincere commitment to honoring your true self. This is the heart of inner transformation. It's freeing. It gives you the right to live a life shaped not by external validation, but by your own clarity and courage. You may be wondering, how do I even begin? Where do I start? Surprisingly, the answer is simple. You start by listening, really listening. Tune into your intuition, that quiet, persistent voice that's always been with you, even when you've overlooked it. Pay attention to your emotions, even the uncomfortable ones. They carry important messages. Listen to your body, to the subtle cues it offers in response to your surroundings, your decisions, and your relationships. These are the ways your unconscious mind communicates with you. These are your signals, and when you start to notice them, your inner world begins to open up. This isn't a one-time task you check off a list. It's a lifelong relationship with yourself, one built on reflection and compassion. It's choosing each day to sit with yourself, to journal, meditate, reflect, or simply be still and listen. As you do, your connection to your truth grows, becoming more grounded, more vibrant, more alive. You begin to view your life not as a series of disconnected events, but as a meaningful story. Your story. This doesn't mean life becomes effortless or that challenges disappear, but it does mean you'll meet those challenges differently, with resilience, with inner grounding, and with faith in your own ability to navigate them. Jung called this process individuation, the path to becoming whole, to becoming the person you were always meant to be. It's not about changing into someone else. It's about reclaiming what you've lost, hidden or denied, your dreams, your fears, your desires, even your darker aspects. Individuation is the process of integrating all of these parts. It's about becoming whole, not perfect, but complete. To do that, you must learn to let go. Let go of beliefs that no longer serve you. Let go of relationships that drain you. Let go of outdated versions of yourself that don't reflect who you truly are. Letting go isn't weakness, it's a powerful act of courage. It creates room for growth, for the unknown, for something greater. Ask yourself, have you ever held on to something long past its time? Maybe a relationship that's no longer fulfilling, but you stay in it out of fear. Or a job that leaves you feeling empty, but you tell yourself it's necessary because it's familiar. These are signals. They're gentle nudges from your deeper self, calling you to evolve. And when you finally release what's weighing you down, you step into the unknown. Yes, it can feel unsettling, but it's also profoundly freeing. Because it's in that uncertain space where true transformation begins. Where new opportunities arise, new people show up, and new paths unfold. To reach this space, you have to trust. Trust yourself. Trust the journey. Trust that even when things don't go according to plan, you're exactly where you need to be. That even the chaos holds meaning. Jung believed the unconscious, deeply linked with the universe, is always guiding and supporting you. And above all, trust that everything you need is already within you. The strength, the clarity, the wisdom, the courage. It has always been there, waiting for you to remember, waiting for you to awaken to the truth. You are not broken, not lost, but becoming, constantly becoming. And in that becoming lies your greatest power, the ability to live a life that is honest, meaningful, and uniquely your own. But this journey isn't one you're meant to walk alone. While inner work is deeply personal, surrounding yourself with people who genuinely support your growth can make all the difference. Seek meaningful connections, relationships that uplift, challenge, and encourage you to be more of who you are, not less. These people become mirrors, reflecting your strengths and helping you evolve. And it's important to understand that each step you take impacts more than just your own life. Jung believed that by transforming ourselves, we contribute to the collective evolution of human consciousness. In other words, when you heal your wounds, confront your shadows, and live truthfully, You're not only changing your world, you're inspiring others to change theirs. The real power of this message isn't just in understanding it, it's in living it. Each day offers the chance to choose authenticity over approval, to listen to your inner voice instead of the outside noise, and to act from the truth of who you are. These small, consistent acts of courage are what create lasting change. Imagine waking up each day feeling whole, truly connected to yourself and the world around you, a life where you no longer feel pressured to wear a mask or live up to unrealistic expectations. A life that flows from honesty, not obligation. This isn't just a hopeful idea, it's within reach if you're willing to do the inner work and walk your own path with courage. Living authentically doesn't mean avoiding pain or setbacks. It means that when challenges arise, and they will, you face them with a deeper sense of purpose, understanding they're here to shape a more expanded version of you. This shift in perspective transforms even your hardest moments into opportunities to grow. Jung said, "There is no coming to consciousness without pain." But pain isn't something to run from, it's part of the process. It's the necessary discomfort of growth, of shedding what no longer fits. Each time you confront fear, embrace your shadow, or release something that's holding you back, you create space for something new. The discomfort isn't failure, it's transformation. Think of it like cracking open a shell. That shell once protected you, but eventually it begins to confine you. Every forward step, no matter how small, is an act of courage. It's a declaration that you are worth knowing, worth trusting, and authenticity is at the heart of it all. When you live authentically, you stop wasting energy trying to fit into roles that were never truly yours. You channel that energy into building a life that reflects your essence. This not only brings deep fulfillment, but also encourages others to do the same. As you walk this path, you'll begin to notice the right people and situations finding their way to you. This isn't coincidence, it's alignment. Jung called this synchronicity, the phenomenon where your inner world starts to reflect meaningfully in the outer world. These moments can look like unexpected conversations, sudden clarity, or dreams with insights. These are signs that your unconscious and the universe are in sync, guiding your steps. But to notice these moments, you must stay open. You won't always have the answers, and that's okay. What matters is continuing to move forward, grounded in your authenticity. Throughout it all, be kind to yourself. This journey isn't about perfection. It's about truth. Some days will feel uncertain. Doubts will arise. Fear may feel louder than hope. You may even question your progress, but remember, growth isn't linear. It comes in waves. Each setback carries a lesson. Each challenge deepens your self-awareness. Jung taught us that a meaningful life doesn't come from avoiding discomfort, but by moving through it with honesty and a willing heart. When you view every experience as a doorway to deeper awareness, your whole reality begins to shift. Your energy changes. The world responds. On this path, you'll come to see that true strength isn't about controlling every outcome. It's about learning to flow with life, to surrender, not as a sign of defeat but of trust, to embrace uncertainty as a teacher, to walk through the fire of change and emerge more whole, more radiant, more yourself than ever before. Jung showed us that life isn't about removing chaos, but finding balance within it. And in that balance, we uncover something powerful, an inner calm that isn't based on external conditions, but rooted in deep self-connection. This isn't a race. You can't rush this process. It's a gradual unfolding, an intentional path of observation, learning, and growth. The road to self-discovery isn't always smooth. It requires courage to face your fears, patience to sit with discomfort, and humility to accept that you're always evolving. But every small effort matters. Every journal entry, every realization, every quiet moment of truth, they all bring you closer to who you really are. And by doing so, you don't just change your life, you help change the world. Because when you live with authenticity, you become a source of light for others. Think of the influence you could have. Imagine if more people chose truth over fear. Imagine a world where no one feels the need to hide, where pain is met with honesty and growth is embraced. That's the ripple effect, and it starts with you. That's why this message matters. It's about more than personal growth. It's about becoming an example, a reminder, a guidepost for others to begin their own transformation. Every time you share a lesson, every time you show up in your relationships with honesty, you're helping shape a world where people feel safe to be real, where authenticity is valued above perfection, where growth is honored as an ongoing journey. Now is the time to act. If something in this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Pass it on. Maybe someone you know is struggling, searching for meaning, or looking for a reason to keep going. Be that reason. Be the voice that reminds them they're not alone and that change is possible. Together, we can build a community that supports transformation. A space where people are free to be themselves, grow at their own pace, and feel seen. Your story matters. Your voice matters. And your commitment to living honestly can inspire others to do the same. Let us know in the comments. What part of this resonated most with you? What are you ready to shift in your life to live more truthfully? When you share, you not only inspire others, you reaffirm your own dedication to growth. That's how transformation spreads. That's how you become the message. You have the power to be a voice for change. Never underestimate how much impact a thoughtful word, a shared post, or a kind comment can have. Every time you engage with this message, you help it reach someone who may truly need it. You become part of something bigger, a wave of change that reaches farther than you can see. Life is full of possibility, and right now, you hold the power to shape how you live it. So dare to be real, dare to release the expectations holding you back, dare to ask, who am I really? And live as the answer, because when you do that, you don't just rewrite your story, you become the change the world needs. Thank you for being part of this journey. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, everything starts with you. I'll be here when you're ready.